Sorry, but Sonic games suck.
There's one thing you should know about Sonic Unleashed before spending your hard-earned money on it. It's a big piece of garbage. Big piece of garbage.
Why Sonic the Hedgehog is awful and always has been.
And it's just infuriating that they can't see what is wrong with modern Sonic. What is it, Sonic Team? Why can't you see it? Huh?
We keep trying to find this thing that was never really actually there.
Sonic was never good.
Yeah, it was
25-year long.
Now, I could so easily sit here and make another Stop the Sonic Hate video, but no, I'm not gonna do that. Not here, not now, and probably not ever again. I already made 2 types of those videos before on my channel, and I'm not really looking forward to making a 3rd one. That said, however, I will be using a lot of the same elements here in this video when discussing the quote-unquote Sonic hate. What's going on, guys? It's your boy SONICSTA back at it again with another video, and today we are going back in time and taking a look at some of the old Sonic the Hedgehog games and their review scores. So the games I picked for this particular video are ones that I actually really enjoyed, and I want to see if my thoughts actually line up with the critics. I already know the answer to this, but let's keep you all in suspense. Before we dive into the video though, I do want to ask you guys to hit that like and subscribe button, that way you guys never miss a video that I upload. I upload a lot about Sonic the Hedgehog, and if you guys are interested in that, you'll be seeing a lot more of that in the future. But anyway, let's get into the first review of my personal favorite Sonic game, Sonic Adventure. So the first place that I'm naturally taken to, as anyone else should be, is IGN, and their review for Sonic Adventure is not one that is viewed highly. They gave Sonic Adventure a 3.5, and no, I'm looking at the whole collection of Sonic Adventure, not just the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. This includes the Dreamcast, GameCube, and PC versions of that game. Now, this article was actually written by this guy known as Arthur Guys, and he said that in the beginning, he was always a Sega fan when he was younger, and he got Sonic Adventure when he was a kid, and convinced himself that it was flawed, but still great. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are unaware of what Arthur Guys is doing here, but right here, he is softening the blow. He's letting us know that he was always a Sonic and Sega fan, only to tell us later that the game still sucked. But you know what, let's not jump the gun too quickly. I think a lot of his whole, review is him talking about the Xbox version as well as the PlayStation one, and using that to kind of combat his experiences with the Dreamcast version. Basically what Arthur is saying here is that because of the Xbox 360 and PlayStation version of Sonic Adventure being bad, the Dreamcast one is made bad by comparison. He's judging the entire Dreamcast game based off his recent experiences with the Xbox version. Now, I've actually never played the Xbox or PlayStation version of Sonic Adventure, so I don't know how that exactly works or how it runs or whatever, but I don't know if it's actually a fair comparison to say that because this is bad, the Dreamcast one is bad as well. Because if you think about it, the Xbox version is actually a port of that game, and it's supposed to be upscaled, so I'm not totally sure if that's actually the same game anymore. I mean, ports get screwed up all the time. I know people like to bash Sonic Colors Ultimate, but imagine if we lumped Sonic Colors Ultimate and Sonic Colors together and said that because Sonic Colors Ultimate is bad, Sonic Colors is bad by comparison. So it looks like Arthur's going to be using the inferior Sonic Adventure port and using that as a guideline to judge the entire game as a whole, including the initial release, which I just don't think seems fair, but let's not jump the gun too quickly and get back into the article. Arthur goes on to say that the gameplay itself is actually pretty broken and borders on unplayable, and the only redeeming qualities of Sonic Adventure according to Arthur are the graphics and the sense of speed. The rest of the article pretty much is just Arthur complaining about the level design and also how the maneuvering in Sonic Adventure is really bad. Arthur even says that the hub worlds in Sonic Adventure make it hard to find out which way to go next, when you can easily just go to the hint orb and it'll tell you exactly where to go. And if for whatever reason you didn't want to use the hint orb to find out where to go next, you can always just listen closely to the cutscenes because they pretty much tell you where to go too. However, Arthur still complains anyway that the cutscenes in Sonic Adventure are painful to watch. Arthur finishes up his review on Sonic Adventure by saying that we all should avoid this game if possible, and that it aged poorly. Now, my personal thoughts about this review as a whole is I don't think this is a good review, and the only reason I say that is because I feel like this review serves only for the PlayStation and Xbox releases of Sonic Adventure, whereas it's trying to serve for every single release of this game. But anyway, let's move on to the next review we're going to talk about here, which is the Sonic Unleashed review from GameSpot. And it leads with terrible level design, unresponsive controls, and a poor camera are just the beginning of the problems in this awful adventure. Oh boy, we're in for quite the treat here. Now, the opening of this article actually praises Sonic Unleashed for the speed it seems to have, but it lacks one very important element, and that is fun. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know for me personally, I had a lot of fun playing Sonic Unleashed, as it's in my top 5 favorite Sonic games. And not to mention, a lot of people on Twitter seem to love Sonic Unleashed too, as it goes trending almost every other week. So there is going to be fun had in this game. But then again, it is subjective. Let's continue on with the rest of the article. So the article goes on to pretty much talk about the story of Sonic Unleashed, but then it follows up saying that the Werehog levels are extremely tedious. Now, this point I actually do understand, because when I first played Sonic Unleashed, I honestly wasn't a big fan of them, but over time it was an interest that I actually, developed, and I actually really do like the Werehog now, as it's one of my favorite modes in Sonic games. Now, I will admit that the Werehog levels are actually an acquired taste. I will say this though, the article says that you have to mindlessly tap 2 buttons in order to actually do anything with the Werehog, which I actually think is far from the truth. Now you see, the game offers you a whole combat sheet of what you can do with the Werehog in Sonic Unleashed, and I feel like just mindlessly tapping 2 buttons is not going to get the job done. You won't have any fun if you're just pressing the square button over and over again, but if you actually learn the mechanics and how the Werehog actually functions, you'll have tons more fun with the game. Alright, so let's go back to the article here. So after it's kind of done bashing the Werehog, it goes on to bash the regular Sonic levels, and for this it actually says that the whole essence of Sonic Unleashed is trial and error, and for that reason it's not fun. However, I would argue that I feel like the fun in Sonic Unleashed is the mastery of it all. Once you figure out what to do, where to go, and also just pretty much gauge Sonic's speed and how to think before Sonic moves, the game becomes that much more fun. So like the Werehog, I feel like the more you do it, the better you are and the more fun the game becomes. But of course, this is all just their own opinions, and I have my own opinions. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, because I need to hear what you guys have to say about the whole trial and error aspect of Sonic Unleashed. Now, I actually really don't want to drag this segment on for too long, because if I'm being totally honest, as I've read this through and through, it seems like every aspect of Sonic Unleashed gets bashed on in this one review. This one GameSpot review about Sonic Unleashed literally bashed almost every facet of this game and barely gave it any positives by saying pretty pictures aren't enough to make up for the miserable gameplay. And even if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the article, the only positive aspect they have listed about Sonic Unleashed is that it looks good, and everything bad about it is literally all the important stuff that a game needs to have. Platforming, level design, combat, controls, camera, all of this stuff made Sonic Unleashed a bad game to them. Now, obviously, I completely disagree, as I said earlier, because it is in my top 5 favorite Sonic games, but I'm not going to sit here and argue with this nonsense. I think it's complete doo-doo, but you know what? Let me know what you guys have to say in the comment section down below. Do you love Unleashed? Do you hate Unleashed? Let me know in the comments. So now that we got that out of the way, I do want to move on to another review that actually is pretty funny in its own right, but for different reasons, and that is Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, again by GameSpot. Now, the funny thing is, actually, they gave this game a higher score than Sonic Unleashed, but the only redeemable quality they can think of for Sonic 06 was that at least the environments are colorful. Now, how this was enough to get Sonic 06 a 4.4 out of 10 score is beyond me, but how it was able to surpass Sonic Unleashed score is really beyond me. Now you see, I actually understand the hate for Sonic 06. As someone who really enjoys the game, I get all the complaints. The game's got glitches, the game's got bugs, the game has a really long loading screen. Yeah, there's tons of problems with Sonic 06. I still find joy in it because it's just something I grew up with, and maybe it's just because of nostalgia, but either way, I still love this game. But let's just get into a bit of what the review has to say. The article begins by dissecting some of the characters and what they do, and even specifying that some of them just aren't that fun, like using Tails as he's pretty slow, and the ring bombs aren't any fun to throw. The review later goes on to say that the camera is not great, and that the platforming could use a lot of work, and they also say that graphically that this is very glitchy, like I said earlier. Now, I will say that the review up to this point has been pretty fair. I respect a lot of what was said here, and it doesn't seem like they're completely bashing the game to its entirety. That said though, you get to a point in this article where it says that the music is just passable, and none of it really stands out. Now you see, I would argue that Sonic 06 actually has the best OST throughout the entire series. Now, the game honestly is kind of hit or miss, whether or not you like it or not is totally up to you, but I feel like the soundtrack is unanimously agreed upon that it's great. Even if it isn't the best, it's still very good. That said though, like everything else, music is subjective. So if you guys know me, I'm a very positive guy, and every single one of these reviews I did so far was negative. So let's end on a positive note. Let's take a look at the reviews for Sonic Adventure 2. Now the review I'm going to be talking about actually comes from IGN, and they gave Sonic Adventure 2 a 9.4 out of 10, which is amazing! Now the review basically starts off with listing the problems that Sonic Adventure had and how they were fixed in Sonic Adventure 2 for the most part, like the camera. Essentially what this review is trying to say is that everything Sonic Adventure does good, Adventure 2 does better. This reviewer even sat down and compared the speeds of Sonic in Sonic Adventure and Sonic in Sonic Adventure 2. This takes dedication, and I really appreciate this. This review goes into detail on the challenges that Sonic Adventure 2 has, and that some characters are more fun than others, like Sonic and Shadow being more fun than Knuckles and Rouge, which just makes sense. In my opinion, this is the best review we've read all day, not just because it has a high number for Sonic, but also because this review seems pretty objective. It not only makes a point to highlight the greatness of Sonic Adventure 2 like the visuals and gameplay, but also to take a look at some of the areas where it could have used some more work, like the several sound issues it has when it comes to the voices overlapping each other or the music just being too loud in the background. You see, I think the biggest difference between this review and all the other ones is the time it was released. You see, this Sonic Adventure 2 review was posted on June 22nd, 2001, which was right before Sonic Adventure 2 was initially released to the public. So I feel like in this time period, there was still ample respect for Sonic the Hedgehog and the series. Not to beat on a dead horse or anything, but after the events of Sonic 06, people began to decrease their respect for Sonic and the franchise, so they gave it pretty bad reviews whenever they could, and every other review except for the Sonic Adventure 2 review I talked about today came after that release of Sonic 06. Now I'm not going to say that's the only reason why these games were reviewed bad, but it definitely played a big factor. What's going on, guys? Thank you all so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Now I want to hear from you. What is your favorite Sonic game? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. Personally, like I said earlier, I'm deciding between Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. I'm finding that the more I play Sonic Adventure 2, the more I begin to like it more than Sonic Adventure. I said more a lot there, but you get the point. I love these two games. That said though, I now want to move on to thank my legendary channel members. Thank you all so much for supporting me and creating the best possible content that I can make. Not a day goes by where I don't praise the Lord for how amazing y'all are. Y'all are truly the best. Thank you all again so very much. If you want to become a member of my channel, there will be a link in the description down below. But if you want to support me through other means, leaving a like, comment, and subscribe definitely go a super long way. But anyway, with all that said and done, thank you all again so much for watching this video. This is Sonic signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?